All right, we've made it to the last chapter. We're going to do a few sections in chapter 15 and a few sections in chapter 16. This will be our last unit for the class. Woo, we made it. This chapter is all about anti-differentiation or integration. And so we spent the whole time talking about derivatives. Now we're going to do anti-derivatives. So we're going to do derivatives, but backwards. So in this chapter, if I give you the derivative, could you go backwards and give me the original function? So that's kind of what we're going to talk about. We're going to start off kind of basic by talking about what antiderivatives are. Then we're going to get a little more complicated because there is no such thing as product rule or quotient rule or chain rule with antiderivatives. We use what we call U substitution, where you have to learn a technique in order to be able to integrate where we don't have a product rule or a quotient rule or a chain rule. We're going to talk a little bit about the area underneath the curve and how we can use integration to find the exact area underneath the curve. We're going to talk about what we call the fundamental theorem of calculus. We're going to talk about integration by parts and improper integration. So all different types of antiderivatives where we're going to take all the stuff we've learned but kind of do it backwards. All right, so we're going to do section 15.1 through 15.5, and then we're only going to do two parts, two sections in chapter 16, 16.1 and 16.4. You can see that we have the blank student notes packet. Make sure you print that out and fill it out as you're watching the videos. You have the videos for the first 5 sections in chapter 5. And then you might also notice that I have an integration quiz. This would be typically a quiz I would give you at least once, maybe multiple times in this chapter if we were doing an in-person class to make sure you know the antiderivative or the integral rules. Just like you needed to know all the derivative rules, you also have to know all the integration rules. So print that out, test yourself, quiz yourself often to make sure that you know the rules because just like derivatives, you need to be able to apply those rules. So make sure you understand and know all those integration rules and techniques so we can work through this chapter. And then we have a few sections, like I said, in chapter 16, and then you'll submit your completed notes in the chapter 15 and 16 together in one assignment, in one document. Make sure that you do all your homework, you do the review, and then you show all of your work for our very last test so I can give you partial credit on anything that you got wrong. All right, let's finish this last unit really strongly. Make sure that you do really well in each of these sections and let me know if you need anything for the last part of the class.